Please go ahead.
Idrukshuta daham bhuya pranidhaya manorudhi vikshamaano pinapashyama vitrupta ivaturaha. Didrukshutu dalam bhuya
Goes like this,
pranidhaya.
Prabhu. If we sing it in that Anushtup meter, no chanda, no Prabhu, it's the tune. Yedrikshustadaho bhuyaha. When you do that, no, actually, as well as Maharashtra Maharaj used to say one thing, that when you follow this, the Visarga, the Anuswara, everything can be properly pronounced. There's space for everything in this particular meter. Jidrikshustadaham bhuyaha. There you can do a little vibration also. There's a space for that. Jidrikshustadaham bhuyaha pranidhaya manohridi Vikshamano pina pashyam avitrupta ivaturaha. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Yes,
Okay, so let's do the word to word, Prabhu.
Idruksha, desiring to see.
Idrikshuhu, desiring to see.
Idrukshuhu, desiring to see. That aham, I, bhuyaha, again, pranidhaya, having concentrated the mind, manaha, mind, hridi, upon the heart, vikshamanaha, waiting to see, api, in spite of, na, never, apashyam, saw him,
Avitrupta.
Without being satisfied. Iva, like Aturaha, aggrieved.
Aturaha.
Atura, aggrieved. Translation: I desire to see again that transcendental form of the Lord, but despite my attempts to concentrate upon the heart with eagerness to view the form again, I could not see him anymore, and thus dissatisfied, I was very much aggrieved.
So this is the translation which we read last week. We read the first two lines of the purport also. There's something very interesting here. If you see, to view the form again, so there is a desire that thing that is there in the heart of Narad Muni, because the first instance he was not very sure that he will get the form of the Lord or not. But somehow Krishna showed his mercy, right? And then the eagerness is developed. And once the eagerness is developed, there is he really wanted to try that same process. Actually, he learned. It's a very interesting thing is that he just followed the process which was taught to him by the sages, by those Bhaktivedantas. So why would Prabhupada call this a mechanical process? If you read the purport, it's very intriguing to see Prabhupada saying something here. If you keep reading, Prabhu, or someone else wants to read the purport?
Krishna Prabhu, I can read?
Yes.
Okay. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. There is no mechanical process to see the form of the Lord. It completely depends on the causeless mercy of the Lord. We cannot demand.
Here the word mechanical process is very important. We discussed about it a little bit last time, but we need to go deeper into that in our understanding. So let's go further. Please continue, Prabhu.
We cannot demand the Lord to be present before our vision, just as we cannot demand the sun to rise whenever we like. The sun rises out of his own accord. So also the Lord is pleased to be present out of his causeless mercy. One should simply await the opportune moment and go on discharging.
Sorry, Prabhu. 1 minute. So every line we should stop and think why he is connecting this here, because I will tell you one thing. This purport actually forms the fulcrum of the entire past, this story of Narad Muni, and also for the whole of our Bhagavatam and our process of devotional service also. This one verse, this purport Prabhupada is given, and also in this verse, the verse in the context also, it defines how we should lead our devotional service, our life in devotional service, actually. Because this is one thing which even in the material world, people who are following the material way of life, they say that I am coming to Krishna consciousness, I am coming to a temple, I am also devotee, I am spiritual, etc., etc. They have no entrance or access to this confidential part of the relationship between devotee and the Supreme Lord. This particular thing where he is revealing this part. That is why I'm saying every line, Prabhupada is literally, what do you call, dipped in this nectar of realization, fully filled with this nectarian realization. And that is why this particular thing, even for our study of Bhagavatam, even for our chanting, any particular service that we take in our bhakti, for every single thing, this one purport will help us. Anytime we go to the any service, we go back to this particular purport. The same purport will be applicable to any of our situation. That is the beauty of Prabhupada's purports. It is not that one purport is applicable one place and another is not. No. Any purport you take, that purport will be applicable to any situation, and you can get enlightenment from this purport. Just to see, there is no mechanical process to see the form of the Lord, he says. Now we have to understand what is that mechanical process, what is that Prabhupada is talking about here, because Narada is following a certain process here. And we will see why it is he is calling it as mechanical. Second, it completely depends on the causeless mercy of the Lord. Then he says this point, we cannot demand the Lord to be present before our vision. He is giving the example of the sun, right? Like night, 10 o'clock, I cannot say, sun, come on, you appear now. Right? But another beautiful thing here we have to understand is that morning 6 o'clock, even if you don't want, the sun will rise. Is that true or not?
Yes.
Even if you don't want, sorry, somebody was saying something.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Correct. That somebody was saying something. Okay. So the morning 6 o'clock, even if you say, no, sun, don't come also, if you say to the sun god, don't come, still it will come. Which means here the sun appearing in front of us is akin to the Lord appearing in front of us. The Lord appearing in front of us is akin to the Lord fulfilling our desires. Isn't it? Here it doesn't literally only mean that the Lord appeared in front of me. There, Narad Muni's desire was to see the form of the Lord, see the Lord, take darshan of the Lord. Right? But we do certain activities with certain desires. That I want to do this, I want to go there, I want to see this place, I am working morning to night to get some Lakshmi, I am driving all this way here, there, etc. to get some experiences, right? Different things. I am helping this person. So there are always some objective there. Many of them are materialistic. or when I say materialistic, it is not the wealth, or it's not the fame or name or possession, property, whatever. It is where it is intended to be used. That's what determines whether it is material or spiritual. Prabhupada also got so much land, so much property, so many followers, but everything was redirected towards Krishna and the spiritual master. He did not own anything, right? And that is what defined that it is spiritual. It is 100% spiritual. I may go to the same temple, I may go and give a same Bhagavatam class, I may go and do same Kirtan, I may go and do some seva, the same place. But the intention will be like ocean of difference, isn't it? So here the point, so here the desire to see the Lord can be transposed, or our desires for doing certain seva or some association or whatever, right? Everything can be transposed to this desire to see the form of the Lord for Narada Muni here. Agreed? So far, so good. Right? We can actually write a thesis on this one purport only. Like this, every purport is so much depth, but this purport is something amazing, really. Why? Because as much as sun will not appear, if you are asking to appear in the middle of the night, same way, you cannot stop the sun from appearing when it is bound to appear. What does that mean? Even if you don't want Krishna consciousness, if Krishna decides to give us that mercy, he cannot stop. You may not even caring for it. You may think that, what is this? I have many other things to do. But we will not even believe it. Within a year or two from that point, we will be so much into this Bhakti Marg that we not even thought about it. How many of us can vouch for that? We never had an inclination, at least outwardly inclination. Internally, the bottom of the heart was there or not, just a different thing. But at least outwardly, we never wanted to study Bhagavatam like this. We never wanted to go and join a Rath Yatra and dance in front of the cart in the public. It is such a we are all very hesitant to go out in the public and express ourselves in a certain way, isn't it? How did it happen? So we should also see that point of view, that perspective, that when Krishna desires to shower his mercy, no force in the world can stop. That's the other positive side of the thing which we need to see. Yes, into Indiradika Mataji, book distribution, prasadam distribution, when you get into some seva, arranging the car parking lot or in the shoe stand, or doing pujari seva there, in so many different ways, Krishna can dropped off. So in so many different ways, Krishna can shower his mercy. So there is no way we can stop the mercy from flowing also. This is the important point that we should learn from this example. The sun rises out of his own accord. So also, see how Prabhupada is writing this line. Who was reading this? Sorry, was it Suchandra Prabhu? Yes, Prabhu. Please, if you read this, Prabhu, there is something very interesting here.
The same line, the sun rises out of his own accord, that one?
Yes, Prabhu. The second part of that line.
The sun rises out of his own accord. So also the Lord is pleased to be present out of his causeless mercy.
Yeah, so
and then
there is a very beautiful.
Also, the next line is also so beautiful because it says that we should continue doing our devotional service, irrespective. We should not expect the the Lord to be there all the time. But it's so nicely said. One should simply await the opportune moment to go.
Before, no, Prabhu. Before going there, there is some more nectar in the statement itself. That's why I told you,
Yeah,
go slowly and even more slowly. Right?
True.
You see, this wind rises out of his own accord. Prabhupada gave that example, right? See, we can only, the challenge that Prabhupada is facing all through is that the spiritual concepts and spiritual, the tattva, not to represent that in the material to make us understand easily, he has to give some certain analogies. But he can only go to a certain extent. He cannot go beyond a certain extent. So that is why he embellishes that with a little bit more. Again, coming back to the Lord here. You see, the sun rises out of his own accord. By saying this, right? Now, suppose I look at the sun. How many times do we see that as the sun is very kind to us? If not for the sun mercifully giving his light, we will all be like gone long ago. Our life would have been completely thrown into jeopardy. We may not even be alive. How many of us think that way? We see it as we see it as some kind of a planet. Yeah, some like how you switch on the tube light and it is glowing like that in the morning it comes, and we don't even appreciate its mercy. That is because the sun is not there means gone. There's no light. So without light, daytime if there is a pitch dark, no, then just imagine this electricity, nothing is there. How much difficulty will be in, right? So that we don't realize. And the second part is, especially in the summertime, if I say that sun is so merciful, people will come to beat me. Right? Especially if you stay in places like Chennai and all. Suchandra Prabhu is waiting for the sun to rise, sun to come. This is at least now. I think there will be some good weather out there, pleasing weather out there in UK. But in India, especially in South, like in Andhra Pradesh or in Tamil Nadu and all these places, it's so hot that if I say sun is so merciful, they will beat me. Because we don't see that as a mercy, isn't it? Especially in the summertime, right? So when you give an example, Prabhupada is actually referring that to the omniscience or the full independence. Sun is not under anybody's control to appear, or you can hide it also by your own, say, desire or your power, right? So that part alone is covered. But there is something extra in Krishna, which normally we don't perceive in the sun god. Actually speaking, the sun god is very merciful. Mercifully, he is giving us the, what do you call that as? The leaves and the flowers and the trees and the herbs and plants and everything. They all get energy from the sunlight. Our vitamin D, doctors say that, hey, go and stand in the sun. If you don't get enough sunlight, your vitamin D is gone, your bones will lose its capacity. All those things are also there. So just imagine the unspoken words are, unspoken, or we have not even thought about it, what are all the merciful actions of sun, the results of sun being there, isn't it? That is why sun god itself is glorified in the 5th canto. One full chapter is dedicated for sun god only. Very beautiful chapter. When you talk about the universe and structure of the universe, and one full chapter is only for sun god. How the power of sun god is so vital for us. Anyway, but beyond that, there is one very important point. That's what is the second part of it. Can you read that, please, Suchandra Prabhu?
The same line, the sun rises out of
his sun rises out of his own accord. His own accord is a very interesting phrase also. His own accord. Accord means according to me. Accord means according to me, I will. This is what it is. So I don't depend on anyone else. It's just my my desire, my benefit, my thing. Whatever I want, I will do like that. Okay.
Like for
So
instance, we can, excuse me, sir, we can give an example. Like, see, when you say my own accord, like people, everybody is attending this Bhagavatam class. They are actually, it's like on accord. You see, it's not necessary. Nobody is forcing.
Yeah.
But it's like on accord.
Yeah. Yeah. So my accord means according to my desire, according to my will.
Exactly.
Whatever I feel like, I will do. No one can force me to do, and I say it is my own accord. So that is how the Lord is, Prabhupada is giving this example. Now coming to the second part of it. Can you read that so also, Prabhupada?
So also the Lord is pleased to be present out of his causeless mercy.
Now, this is the beauty here. This part of pleased, we don't appreciate in the sun god. You understood what was there? That being pleased means we see sun as a non-emotional entity or something which does not have feelings, something which does not appreciate our activity, isn't it? When we are talking about this Navagraha and all those things, the planets and all those things also, we see them as someone who is like, okay, this is your karma, I am doing this. I am staying here, I will do good to you. I am staying in this position, I will do bad to you. Like that only we are seeing. But we don't see them as conscious servants of Krishna. They are all devatas who also notice our activities. Sun God is in fact one of the important witness of the Lord, the CIDs. We call the 12 CIDs. There, the Yamraj tells that in the 6th canto. No? In that, the very first our witness is Surya only, Surya Bhagavan only, Sun God only. Right? So, because we don't have that in our inner consciousness, in our subtle consciousness level, Prabhupada is highlighting that point in Krishna. The Lord is pleased to be present. Pleased here means he is like prasanna ho gaya, we say, no, in Hindi. We say, no, somebody is prasanna. We pleased actually, somehow or other Lord is pleased by something in us, something that we did, that he appears. Pleased to be present out of his causeless mercy. So there is a trigger to that causeless mercy, which is our endeavor, but that endeavor should be done with a mood of non-fruitive activity, with the mood in a non-fruitive mood. When we don't expect, then that endeavor becomes the cause of that causeless mercy. When we do an endeavor without expectation, that endeavor becomes a cause of that causeless mercy. So this please is a very important key word here. The Lord has pleased. If we have to come together today, for example, we have set in our mind, see how the thing works with Krishna. In our mind, somebody is talking in the background. See, the point is, the Lord is pleased actually means he is constantly watching over us, our heart, what is our intention, ulterior motives, everything he is aware of. And there is no way we can tell that Krishna did not allow that, so it did not happen. Krishna did not allow or Krishna did not sanction. Also, in turn, he is seeing what is in our heart. He is seeing, like, if you have to come together, we have to think over this, at least for sometimes you would have been thinking over. Like from Friday itself, for example, sometimes I put the message late, sometimes I put the message early. On Friday itself, when I put the message, it sets in the mind of the whoever is regular attending, right? You say, oh yes, tomorrow class is there. Then what do? We realign our priorities. Say, something is coming later, something is coming first, and we just push things aside here and there. And then we make sure that we are available. All this is noticed. I'm just giving you one example of one seva. Suppose you have a Brahmotsav in the temple, or Karinath Rathayatra is coming. We keep thinking about it. Every time you see somebody posting a status or also doing some different say ads or whatever, Jagannath Rath Yatra is coming, etc. Then it immediately triggers that, oh yes, 27th is Jagannath Rath Yatra. We have programs here in 25th in some places, 29th in some place, 28th in some place. So we have to go here, go there, we have to do seva. Like that, in the mind, these things are going on. Every single desire is captured by Krishna. Both the mundane desires and these spiritual desires also. Even if it may not be that deep, but still the little bit of depth you capture. Then what Krishna does, he is pleased with that. That endeavor. The endeavor is not only the physical endeavor. Please remember this. The moment we desire, that is considered as an endeavor by Krishna. Endeavor by us by Krishna. Right? So that desire is there, that okay, let me do this, let me do that. Then immediately Krishna arranges the thing accordingly. Being pleased, he gives his causeless mercy. This is where we have to really, really appreciate the beautiful relationship between Krishna and us. Krishna is not just giving like saying, okay, come on, you take. He is constantly watching over us. And he's being pleased with us. I want to study this 10 lines only is there, 10 lines only there in this purport. What is a big deal? Let me just quickly read through and go to the next one. Then he's not pleased. This is okay. Your aim is to finish the Bhagavatam. You is to just complete the Bhagavatam and say that, okay, I've done one round of Bhagavatam reading. I've done 2 times Bhagavatam reading. That doesn't help in making Krishna pleased at all. Do you get me? But when you're saying that, I don't care how many purports are there. I don't care how much time I have left in my life to live. But this moment, I want to spend as much as possible to realize and relish this purpose. That's all. When we have that kind of a desire, then Krishna gives that kind of a sangha. He's pleased. Okay, this living entity, this jiva is showing some little eagerness. Let me give that opportunity for him or her. You get me how the whole thing works here? According to the desire, according to that endeavor of desiring is watched constantly by Krishna. Right? So that is what is the word pleased is very important. The Lord, so also the Lord is pleased to be present out of his causeless mercy. It's a very important thing that shows the what do you call innermost feeling of Krishna. Pleased to be present out of his causeless mercy is a very beautiful word there. Prabhupada, in thus that 4 words, he is revealing to us how much Krishna is loving us. Like, I don't know if it was last week or the week before. I think this last week that many times we focus on how much I want to love Krishna, but we don't realize that it will be very easy when we appreciate or introspect how much Krishna is already loving us, irrespective of whether we love him or not. Isn't it? Because last week we were discussing, I remember he was also making some points there. Right? So here, this pleased to be present out of his causeless mercy reveals how much Krishna is pleased with us. Krishna is loving us. Krishna is so affectionate and caring for us. And that causeless mercy actually means multiple things. But here, he says that, see, you have done little bit. And what I'm going to give, it's not an equal reciprocation for this. It is much more larger in terms of its what do you call the value wise. You are paying something. I'm paying some 10 rupees, but somebody is giving me say a BMW car or a Audi or some very very high end car or SUV or whatever, just for 10 rupees, under Indian rupees. Imagine that is actually costless mercy. So nobody will give it for 10 rupees. But Krishna is only seeing that you only have 10 rupees, but even that you wanted to come and give it to me. But I will give you much more. Like how even for Sudama, the same thing he did, right? His desire, Sudama's desire was not to ask anything from Krishna, but to go and see Krishna. And that desire to see Krishna, to meet Krishna, was reciprocated by Krishna including this desire to see Krishna was also fulfilled. And whatever was his basic needs, that was also covered in abundance. Much more than what in Gujarati they say that, what is that? Sudamana tandul lidhu, ina mahele kanakana kidu. Means he just tandul means broken chipped rice. He just gave a handful that also to Krishna. Uncooked raw rice, and he just ate that. And he gave Kanak Mahal. Kanak Mahal means golden palace. He gave golden palace to as his costless mercy, as his reciprocation, isn't it? So you see, where will you get this kind of reciprocation? If you go to bank also, they will get to give say maximum 7-8% interest only. What is a big deal? But here, Krishna is giving a lot more than what he actually wanted. And Tubja, Todu, Chandan, Kubja, Dido. Ina Rupa, Anupama Kido. Means this Kubja was just little Chandan only. She was doing it with so much love. But she originally was not intending to give to Krishna and Balram. She actually was taking it for this Kansa. But on the way, when she saw Krishna and Balram, she was very much inspired and she was very much attracted, and she just gave that to Krishna and Balram. Whatever you want, you take, and then all the scents, different scents. And little bit only she gave, and for that Kubja, that hunchback is completely straightened, and she became so Anupama. She was so beautiful in the process, right? So that is actually, that denotes the costless mercy of the Lord. Means what we are doing and what he is giving has no match at all. The only thing that Krishna, but Krishna sees that it is matching, and more than matching. In fact, he is feeling that it's not enough to reciprocate to the love of my devotee, the love that my devotee is giving. Yes, Pawan Gaurang Prabhu, you have raised your hand. Prabhu, you are mute. We are not able to unmute, Prabhu. Allow me to unmute you. Try to do it yourself. See, you had put in chat. Messages, yes. So, it's okay. You can type your question, Prabhu, if you are not able to unmute. It should unmute. I don't know why it is not working. Maybe in the phone or somewhere it should be. If it is a phone or laptop. Anyway. So Suresh Prabhu has made a point here. Lord has lots of appreciation for the devotees' sincere, humble endeavor. Yes, very true, Prabhu. That's what I'm. That humble desire is itself is reciprocated by Krishna. That endeavor to serve itself is reciprocated by Krishna. Even before you serve, that's why it is always said the devotional service starts from the moment you try to You think about going to say Dham. We were talking about going to Tirupati or Vrindavan last week, right? That way. So this Lord is pleased to be present out of his causeless mercy. It's a very beautiful statement that reveals the transcendental love that Krishna has for each one of us, for all the living. And that should strengthen our devotional service, actually speaking. Very much strengthen, because you see, I don't love Krishna as much as he is loving me. So that should give me the impetus to love him more, isn't it? I don't deserve this so much love and care that the person is giving. If somebody keeps giving me gift or doing a lot of help to me without me asking, naturally I will be obliged or indebted to that person, right? Oh, he is doing so much help, I should do something in return, isn't it? When I don't even show the gratitude for that person or appreciate how much he is giving, how will I reciprocate? Right? That is why our acharyas have always tried to highlight how much Krishna has given to us. How much Krishna has been so merciful. How much mercy is Krishna having upon us. Yes, Pawan Prabhu, are you able to unmute now?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes,
Yes,
Prabhuji.
Prabhu. Please go ahead, Prabhu.
Prabhuji,
Sorry.
thank you for the nice point that the causeless mercy of the Lord,
Hmm.
that one. So when we do practice in our process of devotional service, we do sometimes face the different phases of our life. So how do we really embrace those situations in those
Very
lives?
beautiful question, Prabhu.
And one more
Very
thing is
beautiful.
that, like somebody, we may be rendering some service, and that should be without expectation. But we are thinking that we are rendering service for the pleasure of some other superior Vaishnava, some senior devotee. But it came to know that they are unhappy with our service or something. Maybe what could be the reason? So even those situations also, we may feel ourselves that, oh, unnecessarily I have no wasted my these many number of days of rendering this service. There is no point of rendering this service to my superiors. Why? Because it doesn't please the Lord and it doesn't please the devotees. Then there is no point of getting the grace of the Lord or getting the mercy of the Lord. So how to understand these situations, Prabhu?
Okay. Very, very beautiful, practical question, Prabhu. I really appreciate you asking this question, because I was going to cover that particular part in the causeless mercy. Because many times what we see is that the favorable results are causeless mercy, whereas results that are not favorable or unfavorable to us are not in line with our desires, we think they are not as causeless mercy. Isn't that true?
Yes, Prabhuji. If it
Right?
is favorable, we think that.
Yeah, because we say, I suppose I say, if I get a good job, that is causeless mercy. If I don't get a good job, then Krishna is not merciful to me, right? Or if I want to travel someplace and enjoy, Krishna is allowing for that, then suddenly I become sick and I'm not able to travel, then I don't see that as a causeless mercy, right? This is the what you call lower level of consciousness. Many times it is mundane level, because what we are thinking in a subtle way is that whatever I desire should be fulfilled by Krishna. In other words, if I have to tell it in plain words, we are seeing Krishna again as order supplier. Only thing is, we are thinking that the order is spiritual order, not a material order. Isn't it? The hotel we go and we tell the server, come on, you serve dosas, you serve idli, you serve roti, etc. If he is bringing something else, then we get upset and annoyed with him. I'm paying you, right? You are supposed to get me the right thing, isn't it? So that is called order supplier, basically. You put an order, the same thing should come. Not an inch should change. Right? That a mentality should be somehow or other eradicated from our system, Prabhu. That mindset should be removed. Because as long as we have that order supplier, Krishna's order supplier mentality, it doesn't matter. You may shift your consciousness from, say, mundane consciousness to, say, spiritual thing. I want to do this, I want to do that, etc. But what we forget is that, is it pleasing Krishna? What I desire, is that pleasing to Krishna? So that is where in the later part of this purport, Prabhupada will come and say that, he is not obliged to any of our things. That actually speaking, Krishna doesn't think that he is not obliged. But Prabhupada is asking us to set, keep that mindset or fix our mind with that thought that he is not obliged. The moment we think that Krishna is obliged to my devotional service, the next thing is our supply. You get me, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji.
That obligation, Krishna always feels obliged to the devotees.
Yes.
But only to those who don't expect him to be obliged. You understand?
Our disposition need to be changed.
Exactly. Our consciousness must be changed. When we start thinking that, hey, see, Prabhupada is writing the purport and, see, here he's saying he's not obliged. I will show you another purport where Prabhupada says Krishna is indeed obliged. We have read that purport in the past, but for those who are not attended for a while, no, it will be good to recap this point. See. See here, 3827. This Mukhena Lokati Harasmitena, that shloka, in that purport you will see Prabhupada say that Krishna becomes an debtor. He becomes a debtor to the devotees. Because devotees don't take anything that Krishna gives from a mundane perspective. Okay, today nobody's sharing the screen now. I share, then I will end up watching the screen all the time.
I'll share, Prabhuji.
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Yeah, if you see, Prabhu, can you take 3827? Here, Prabhupada says very clearly that he is not obliged. Right? In this very sad thing. What uses the word? The rod is completely independent of all obligations. Towards the end, just before the end, he's telling that, right? Now you please open 3827. You are taking it, Prabhu? I think you might be another screen or something. If you see here, see, devotional service to the Lord is very much obliging to him. The very first, the very first line, if you see, Prabhupada is writing this. Devotional service to the Lord is very much obliging to him. Right? And then he says further, even the most desirable liberation is refused by devotees, although offered by the Lord. Thus, the Lord becomes a kind of debtor to the devotees, and he can only try to repay the devotees' service with his ever-enchanting smile. You see how amazing these two purports are. Because the devotees don't want anything from the Lord feels that I am a debtor now. I am indebted to them now. I am obliged to give something to them, but they don't want anything except his expression of pleasure showing in the form of his very loving glance and pleasing smile. That's the only thing the devotees want. Nothing else from a mundane perspective. See that? So coming back to this point, let's go back to this verse, Prabhu. So coming back to this point, that why we are affected, many times we want to, that's a beautiful question that Pavan Prabhu asked, Pavan Gaurang Prabhu asked. Because many devotees many of us in devotional service, we are in fact affected by these things, because we are as per the tattva also, we are supposed to understand that serving the devotees should please the Lord. It should actually please it actually pleases the Lord even more than directly serving Him, etc. We serve the spiritual Yasya Prasada Bhagavad Prasado, Yasya Aprasada Nagati Putoti, right? But what is happening here is, Pavan Gaurang Prabhu, we have discussed this when we met also, if you remember briefly, in the office when we met also, right, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
Our challenge is that there is a tinge of material desire in trying to please a so-and-so devotee. Unknowingly, it can be innocent also. Innocently, we may try to please also. Sometimes it can be due to, say, subtle, unknown desire for, say, some appreciation, acknowledgement, or somebody will be emotionally connected because of whatever reason, right? That person, if he or she appreciates us, then it's like the world for us. And if they don't appreciate, then it means like we are like completely disturbed and so on, right? This is all at a very, I would say, at a lower level of consciousness, devotional consciousness. Actually, it is okay that the devotee so-and-so devotee gets pleased or whatever, but what really will affect us is that when you see that that particular, say, devotee, he may have some his own mundane desire. He may be mixed with his pleasure or displeasure might be based on how you are treating that person. He may not see in a neutral perspective that, oh, this devotee, even though he may not be caring for me or not pleasing me, he is doing sincere devotional service. That kind of a neutral platform he may not be in, he or she may not be in. So if you end up going and trying to please somebody who is not a genuine bhakta, you would end up being disturbed. Do you get me, Prabhu, so far? The one whom you are trying to please should be of a higher consciousness, should be of an elevated consciousness. You understand? Yes. Most of the time what happens is, because of our innocent nature or whatever, we want to please everybody. That is a natural tendency of for all of us. We don't want anybody to be disturbed. Somehow or other we try to appease and this thing, whatever. But in that process, what happens is, we try to please somebody who may not be seeing you on a spiritual platform. He or she may not see you as an Atma, Jivatma. He may be seeing you more like a, hey, okay, he belongs to my group, he belongs to my temple, he belongs to my congregation. He is not following me. He is not respecting me. Even he's in my congregation, he has to respect me. He has to follow my words blindly without asking question. These are all people who they are all people with controlling propensity. So what happens? They may appear as leaders or senior bhaktas, but their consciousness is not one of pleasing Krishna. So you are trying to please somebody who has not pleased Krishna.
Like that might be like one thing, Roji, but the another aspect of a practitioner should also think that if I am not able to please, but it should not be displeased. Like in another way, like we may not be
that
able
also
to appeal
that
too
is
much
also
to
an
them.
expectation. No, see, I don't want the devotee to be pleased, but at least I want him to be not displeased. Correct? That's what you are saying.
Displeased in the sense you should not get disturbed unnecessarily because of our presence or something.
There also,
activity.
I will tell you something. These are all very touchy areas where we are crossing the line of control. It is Krishna's area. Somebody getting pleased or somebody getting displeased is all Krishna's area. When you cross the line of control, he will shoot you down.
Okay.
You understand? What you see,
Yes, Prabhu.
as much as we don't have the capacity to please somebody, we also don't have the capacity to stop somebody from being displeased. Do you get me?
Yes, Prabhuji. Got it.
So what we are thinking is, and there's a very subtle thing going on behind that, Prabhu, behind the scene. I will tell you. This all Maharaj told us, even the desire that nobody should be displeased with me is material desire. You know why? Because I am more concerned about how people are treating me than how people are treating Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Right? So what happens is,
Yes.
more than me trying to serve Krishna, I will end up looking at everybody and saying, hey, this person is not pleased. As long as I get a good name, I am fine.
Then what is the line we can draw, Prabhuji? For example, we have the dealings with different devotees. Like we, as you mentioned that we don't have the control of pleasing or displeasing, but at the same time we should also be very cautious that we should not be doing mess up with any other devotee. So where exactly we can draw a line here that I am not expecting anything from that. I should be a good person in all others, but at the same time that is one kind of understanding. And another thing is that we should also be very carefully dealing with other Vaishnavas. It is not for that, but at the same time we should not commit any kind of an aparadha or any kind of thing, so that it will be
very nice point. Very nice point. So where should we draw the line? To the extent we are not disturbing the flow of their devotional service towards Krishna. Yasmanna udvijate loko, lokanna udvijate chayaka. We should be only to that extent where we don't disturb them. Their flow, everybody have our own individual flow towards Krishna, correct?
Yes.
And that flow should not be interrupted or disturbed by our interference. We can help them go forward. We can help them move forward with the greater flow, greater force. But not become a hurdle, not go and stop the flow. This is applicable for anyone who is interacting with you also, anyone whom we are interacting with others also.
Vice
and
versa,
that is what Krishna will always see that as a criteria. He will see two living entities. As long as they are doing their devotional service, all right, he will not think. Suppose one comes and disturbs the other person's flow, he will make sure that somehow his mind will be disturbed. Naturally, it will be disturbed. It will not be that Krishna is forcing him, but naturally, that's a law of nature. So the moment you disturb another person, you will be disturbed. Now coming to this other side, now this is the point I told you that as long as possible, suppose somebody is doing seva, we should do it in such a way, we should help them in such a way that their devotional service is not disturbed. Sometimes what will happen is somebody will do seva, they will do pujari service. Say, you go to the temple and you are very good pujari expert, you have learned the scores and all, you have learned everything, you have served as somewhere else also, all right. Now you are going there. Suppose there you go and tell the devotee that, Prabhu, I also want to serve. Then initially you will say, okay, Prabhu, come, you serve. Then you start doing service and everything. After some time, say the temple president or the head pujari, whatever, he likes your seva. Now he starts thinking that, okay, this person can do better, that other person is he is not as good as you. Now, unknowingly, we have created insecurity in the mind of this other devotee who allowed you. Correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
Right? These are all subtle things that will come in the way. We may not be things which unintentionally we may do, which will create disturbance in others. And there are things which intentionally we may do which will create others. Intentionally, of course, no excuse at all. But unintentional things, we have to be mindful of those things. That is what we gain through the experience in Krishna consciousness, in the part of this our whole process, isn't it? We get through some difficult situations, some difficult devotees, difficult group, or whatever it may be, and then we end up saying that okay, I have to learn from this. I have gone through a lot of these things which you are telling, so that's why I'm sharing how I might have failed to in the first attempt, in second, and maybe the third attempt, third time it happened. I try to rectify a little bit, and then somehow your Bhagavatam is not disturbed. Your study of Bhagavatam, your study of Prabhupada's books, your chanting, those things don't get disturbed. So our disturbance in this sadhana is a result of us disturbing somebody else's mind. So somehow or other, those come and disturb us. Now coming to finally to close this discussion thread, how we should approach when somebody is disturbed by us. We should genuinely ask sorry to Krishna, genuinely ask sorry to that devotee also. If that devotee is not satisfied with your apology, leave it between them and Krishna. That's all. Don't get disturbed. Oh, this devotee has not forgiven me, my life is gone, etc., etc. Don't get disturbed. Just carry on with your devotional service. Krishna knows you the sincerity of purpose. Krishna knows who is right here and who is wrong. He will always see everything from a transcendental perspective. So don't get disturbed or boggled by this kind of situation and affect your devotional service. Every time you have any situation, think of Prabhupada as the best example. Every one of his godbrother forsake him, Prabhu. Not a single godbrother came to help, especially when he traveled to the West. How much he must have been pained by that thing, because he never saw those temple kind of environment, because he was always a grihastha. He was never into all those temple politics or whatever that was between the devotees or whatever was there. But when he got to know that, after his spiritual master's departure, even a genuine desire, he would even try to unite everybody. He tried to talk to everybody and wanted to everybody to all his godbrothers. And he tried all that. But nobody listened to him. Hey, just Sabai Babu, what is this? We are all sannyasis and brahmacharis like that. But the sincere desire to follow the instructions of a spiritual master 100%, that was appreciated by Krishna and reciprocated abundantly, even much more. Who can become an acharya like that? Near, what you call, whatever distant future that we are talking about, you cannot see anyone who can become like that. Right? We all try to follow whatever he has set as a standard as a founder acharya. Correct? So I asked this question to one of our senior disciple of Prabhupada, known as Ganapati Swami. When I used to serve in Minneapolis, I was facing whatever situation you said. I've faced those kind of situations in many places, not only Minneapolis, in other places also. I've seen that. When you are trying to serve sincerely, there will always be somebody who will get disturbed. You just try to be pleasing to them, and don't objectify that person. Don't identify that person as the sinner or that quality, because all these qualities are part and parcel of the material modes. So it stops with the mind. The Atma is pure. You understand? So we should always have the habit of seeing the Atma, perceiving the Atma inside that body, perceiving that person as the Atma, who is speaking as an Atma, Jivatma, who is connected with Krishna. When you say somebody as an Atma and a spiritual platform, immediately that person's connection you will see with Krishna. He's also struggling with the three modes. Or he may have some certain perspective, who knows. So whatever that thing may be, you simply pray to Krishna, saying that Krishna, you have given the situation for me to rectify or purify my behavior or my habits, whatever. So please, whatever lesson you want to teach me, please teach me, and also give me the intelligence to identify it and rectify it. To that extent, you pray to Krishna sincerely and just keep doing your seva.
Sure,
Krishna brings
Prabhuji.
all
Thank you
these
very
things
much,
in our
Prabhu.
life, Prabhu. Krishna brings all these things in our life to only to make us a better devotee. Nothing else. There's no question of being
Thank you
disturbed.
very much. Thank you,
Right,
Prabhu.
Prabhu? So that
Yes,
courage
Prabhu.
should be
Thank you
there.
very much.
And give the credit to, give the benefit of doubt to the devotee. Whatever it is, he may be having some perspective which I may not be able to understand. But let me keep doing my seva. And if that person is so much disturbed even to see me, don't go in front of that person. Just go somewhere else. For some time, the gap will purify the relationship, rectify whatever is the negativity there. Right? Only thing that we
Yes,
don't,
Prabhuji.
only thing we are not conscious in these situations is that Krishna is in full control of the situation. He knows what is going on in each and every one of our hearts. If he wants, he can solve the problem in a minute. Like he tells to the Devatas, no. If I want, I can finish Hiranyakashipu now only. But I don't see your desires to be pure enough. When my pure devotee, whose heart has only me in it, even he is disturbed, I will come and finish it. Finish Hiranyakashipu. Right? So, Prahlad Maharaj was fully accepting that Krishna is in full control of the situation and he knows what is happening completely. Right, Prabhu? That consciousness will clear all the insecurities, disturbances, danger, the fear and anxieties and everything from our heart. And another important thing, Prabhu, what Krishna teaches us by his own personal example is that even if that person has, the other person has a very negative attitude, a negative idea about you, negative perception about you, whatever, and you end up meeting that person, simply smile from the heart, not from the lips. From the heart, we smile. Just smile and just say Hare Krishna and move on. Don't think that, oh, if that person comes in front of me, my God, I can't even smile at him. How can I face that person? Then I go, that person is coming and I go in some other direction, whatever. Okay? And they are very emotionally threatening and all those things. Just say Hare Krishna and move on. Sometimes people can, what they do is they have this emotional threat, emotional blackmailing they will do. Who you don't know how much I've served you, I've helped you in your beginning days. Now you are leaving and going like that and all they will say. Or you are not serving properly, you are not listening to me, etc., etc. Right? That itself is a mundane approach. It's like it's like what do you call that? Vanik, as Prahlad Maharaj says, like a trader. You go to the shop, pay money, and get some item like that. It should never be like that. Whatever I do should not, there is no need to be reciprocated, right? So when you see such kind of a thing, just simply say Hare Krishna, smile at them. I will try to improve Prabhu and just move on from there. Don't even keep that in your mind. Our problem is even after that person has left the scene, he is in our mind. Isn't it, Prabhu? And instead of
Yes,
Bhagavatam
Prabhu.
and Krishna inside our mind, we are keeping that person in our mind. And where will Bhagavatam make sense to us? Bhagavatam, if at all, the one thing that it should do, after beyond all this pure bhakti and all those things, it should bring that innocent and what do you call uncontaminated smile in our face. Smile and not only smile, it should bring that laughter in our face. People should not feel that hey, is reading Bhagavatam is so morose and serious. If I also read Bhagavatam, I also become like that. Everybody want to be happy and smiling and joyful, isn't it? You just smile and laugh and then move on. Be Priya Vakya Pradhanena Sarve Tushanti Jantavaha. Everybody is pleased the moment you are speaking pleasingly with them, and just move on. Don't keep anything in the mind and give rent free space for them. Right? And don't have this misconception that if they are displeased, Krishna is displeased. If they are pleased, Krishna is pleased. That is applicable only for pure devotees, not for those in the three modes, those who have their own ulterior motives to fulfill. Right? I hope this helps, Prabhu. Sorry for
Yes,
the digging deep in
no.
this thing, but I felt that this is something where wherever I go, devotees are asking this question. They are at least they are disturbed by the situations, you know. So we want to move out of this Prakrita Bhakta level to Adhyatmika Bhakta, you know, to the more what do you call more closer to more purer in our bhakti.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Any
Thank
any
you
other
very much.
thoughts? Any other thoughts or perspectives before we move on?
No, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
So yes.
Pranam, Prabhuji. Able to hear me, Prabhuji?
Dandavanam. Yes, Mataji, I can
Hello,
hear you.
Hare
Please
Krishna,
go ahead.
Prabhuji. So, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, able to hear me?
Yeah, Mataji, please go ahead.
Yes, Prabhu. So, actually, Krishna gives whatever is we are eligible. There is the 3 doers philosophy which is there in Bhagavad Gita, no, Prabhuji? So, how do we reconcile that and this costless mercy also? In the sense, okay, we are
What is that?
devotee,
Please
maybe the 3 the devotee desires, then what is that? We have to look into our karma. What is our bank balance with our karma? And then
Are you
the
talking
material
about the
nature
5
fulfills.
factors? Are you talking about the 5 factors that Krishna says in the 17th,
Yes,
18th
in
chapter?
Bhagavad Gita, in Bhagavad Gita, na? In
Paramatma,
Bhagavad Gita,
the
na?
play, the time, the what are all those things? No, the individual Jivatma is
Yeah.
only
But then if we are due
1/5
to
of
get
the.
something, we will. Based on our karma, we will get based on our past karma, and this philosophy, but in the sense that costless mercy. So, do we
Karma,
mean say that
Mataji, karma is only for our material desires, Mataji.
Okay.
It's not for spiritual desires.
Okay.
Karma
Okay,
may set up a situation. Karma may set up a situation in certain way. According to karma, I may be placed in so and so place. But there also, for me to desire and do the seva, it is totally adhyatmic. It is what do you call? It's a direct relationship with Krishna. So that Ajnata Sukruti Ajnata Sukruti, without knowing you would have done some Sukruti. That may help you, go and get sadhu sangha and all that. But then that association purifies us in the course of time. And we start getting spiritual desires to doing spiritual endeavors in that association. Being purified by that. In this actually, this is such a beautiful forum that like Pavan Gaurav Prabhu's question was so practical and everybody's question that is. And like that, your question, every question is, or every realization that is shared, it actually helps each other, isn't it? We have all done some little Ajnana Sukruti ourselves, which is bringing us to these kind of situations or our circumstances where we can develop and move forward even further. So our spiritual desires are not determined by our karmas and all.
Okay. But this costless mercy even can be sometime material also, no?
No.
Costless mercy need not be only.
No. Costless mercy is spiritual because it is Krishna's mercy.
Yeah, correct.
But the result of that costless mercy is what you're talking about. The result of that costless mercy
Yes,
may be
Prabhuji.
that
Result
Krishna
of
may
costless
give you
mercy
some
and material.
Krishna may give you some good facilities and so material facilities, some nice wealth and nice family, whatever, etc.
Yeah.
But those are
Yes,
not
sir.
material. Those are given for spiritual upliftment, spiritual progress. It
Okay.
is whether it is material or spiritual is dependent by how I am using it. If I am
Okay.
using that, see, many times devotees come to the temple also just to get some business or some customers or something for their work or for their product or whatever that they are doing, that shop or anything,
Well, correct.
right? So Krishna gave
Yes,
them
sir.
the causeless mercy of coming to the temple, but the way they are utilizing it for material progress. So
Okay.
the mercy remains causeless and spiritual, but by the way I'm utilizing it, I'm converting it into material thing, or for my own thing. So it is not going to make me go one step ahead in the spiritual side. It will make me go one step down in the material side, towards the material side. I will do all the wealth, name, fame, etc., and I will continue enjoying the material falsico-based life, and it will end up um, just going in that direction. There is no love developed in us also, and not in anyone who is connected with us also. I mean, whom I am driving. Right, Mataji?
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
So it depends on how we are utilizing it. Prabhupada says that very clearly. Whether in 2-3 places he says that whether the mercy, whether that is Krishna's mercy or a result of your own karma, is determined by how much how we are using it. If you are using it for further progress in devotional service, then it means it is Krishna's causeless mercy. If you are getting more and more degraded, then we see that it is actually a part of our karma reciprocated through the Durga Mata and the other agents.
Okay.
Okay. 2 more hands. Swapna Mataji, next Anjan Prabhu. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Are you able to hear me?
Please go ahead,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes,
Are you
Mataji, go
able to
ahead.
hear me?
Yes.
Prabhuji, we discussed that when devotees please Krishna, then and those are pure devotees, and we have to please them to please Krishna. And other devotees who are in modes or in have ulterior motives, if we try to please them, we may feel something sometimes bad. But my question is, for me, those are doing more hours of service, or maybe even if I think that every how do I understand that they are pure devotees?
Mataji, I am some part was breaking. How to understand? What did he say? How to understand?
How do I come to know that? Means, Prabhuji, my question arises.
Okay.
I feel
Whether
that
the person is whether that person is a pure devotee or is a mixed devotee, how do I come to know?
yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. So this is always a very frequently asked question. See, the point here is before I answer that question, Mataji, let me tell you one important point, which I left. I did mention it in Pawan Gaurang Prabhu's as answer to Pawan Gaurang Prabhu's question, but I think I didn't highlight it more explicitly. Those who may be in the modes, right? Those devotees who may be in the modes who you try to convince or please, etc. That's what we said. You will end up being disturbed. You will end up developing a bodily concept, devotion in the bodily concept of life only. But having said that, we should also pray for such devotees to Krishna. That Krishna, he's a sincere devotee, but somehow or other he is getting caught up into this control, some pride and envy and these and things. So I am also impure. That is why I am seeing these things in him. So please rectify me also and rectify him also somehow or other. And that prayer we should always be praying for everybody. Okay, that way we are not objectifying or judging somebody based on their the external qualities. Again, at the end of the day, it's all by the modes. not the jiva's quality. Now, how do you identify these things? If you fully commit yourself to improve your sadhana, to commit unreserved seva, then Krishna himself will reveal these things in due course of time. You don't have to, there is no mechanical process again to identify these kind of things. The more we purify our sadhana, the more we value each and every part of the bhakti process, like the association, the seva, the confidentially correcting ourselves by expressing ourselves to some devotees, senior devotees, and all that. And again, in this process, you may face some failures. You may face somebody who is a very pure devotee, and they may end up going into some direction which you never imagined, and then you will feel disappointed. Those kind of things will happen. But our way should be to come out of these disappointments and continue with the full vigor, full velocity and force in the path. Because just like how you learn in your say material in our school subjects, academic subjects, we may try to solve one problem and we will make some mistakes. Then we try second time, third time, then we will fix it. Like that, we will have to fix it because we are not correct all the time, no? So we'll have to understand that our own imperfections and go ahead. And again, our job should also be not in identifying the right person, identifying the wrong person always. Just keep flowing like a river. There will be places where you will be flowing very nicely. There will be places where you will have to go slowly because the place is a little narrow, put it broader and whatever it is. But your job is to simply keep flowing. Just keep simply appreciating Prabhupada, serve Prabhupada, and keep on going like that. And in that process, we will also be purified. Whoever is contaminated, who is connecting with us, they will also be purified. Just like to throw gutter into Ganga, by the flow of the Ganga only, the gutter also gets purified, isn't it? If the Ganga doesn't flow, not only that the gutter will not be purified, but Ganga also will become pure. Right?
Yes.
I'm saying in an external sense, right, Mataji? So there is no like a systematic process by which you identify. If that's the case, then we would have been easily removed everything. Of course, the sadhu's qualities are mentioned in Bhagavatam. Sadhu, Sadhava, Sadhu Bhushana, Sadhu's Lakshanas are mentioned very clearly in Bhagavatam in so many places in the discussions, etc. But in Kali Yuga, it is very difficult to find pure devotees with all those qualities. Very rare to find. So you always have someone like Prabhupada as a trademark, as our what do you call? What is that? With whom you compare against, right? So from there,
Benchmark.
benchmark, yes, benchmark. So you keep him as a benchmark, and if nobody else is matching to that to those qualities of Prabhupada, keep Prabhupada as that benchmark and respect everyone else. There will be Krishna will send somebody who will take you in the right direction. Right? Before I go to the other hands, I think Sevidya Mataji asked a question as a subsequent thing about this. Though this is a wrong understanding from what I said. I never said don't interact with other devotees or in temple or any seva. No, that is not the way we should do. You should interact. You should not be too much emotionally attached to that. This person is the one who brought me to Krishna consciousness. He's a pure devotee. Let them be pure devotees, but you try to become pure, right? So when we become pure, like the Sintamani or the Sintamani Visana Parasmani, when we become pure, anybody whom we touch, they become pure, correct? So that is what we should become. We should not be worried about, hey, this person is a pure devotee, that person is not a pure devotee, etc. Why am I not a pure devotee? What is the best way to become pure devotee? Father Prabhupada is always there as an example. Even if all the others are not being pure, whatever, but still they are in the process of becoming pure. Nobody is stamped as you are impure, you are impure. Today they may be, But very soon the flow will keep continuing and purify them. So never keep any fixed idea about somebody that this person is a rascal, that person is a devotee. Today, pure devotee, tomorrow he may change to something else. Today, rascal may change to something else in the future. Right? Be with the, what is that? Sabse miljul kar rahi hai, hil mil kar rahi hai. Like that, there is a, what is that? Tulsi is dunya mein bhanti ke log. There's a different kinds of people are there. Just keep smiling with everybody, casually move around with them. That's perfectly fine. You just move on with it. We should not be in the material platform, while doing our seva, while doing our bhakti, etc. I hope that helps, Sri Vidya Mataji. But let me come back to the other three hands that are raised. I think Anjan Prabhu was the one who was kept it for a long time. Yes, Anjan Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavas Pranam. Prabhuji, Mataji was talking about causeless mercy and you gave her some response. On the same lines, can I assume that, let's say I get kidney disease, serious kidney disease. Can I assume that to be causeless mercy?
Of course. When you are talking about pure devotee sees every step, every single thing that's happening in our life has caused us mercy. Nothing can move an inch without Krishna's caused us mercy. That is what defines a pure devotee. That mentality is what defines a pure devotee.
Thank you very much.
It's very difficult. I'm sorry. That's very difficult to get. But I saw one very vivid example in one of the Matajis. Aradhya Vandana, Mataji's name is Sandhya Vandana's name. And she is hardly 33 years old, 34 years old. And both her kidneys failed for the last 5 years. And even a kidney transplantation didn't work properly. So they had to take that out. But in spite of that, she attended one of our seminars, Power of Gratitude. I was amazed how you traveled all the way from Bangalore to Mumbai and that too to Govardhanaka village, and you were attending that. And she said, I want to be grateful to my spiritual master in this life. So I wanted to learn that. That's why she had to do twice a week dialysis. So in between two dialysis, she came to the seminar and she attended. And they have a like about 10, 12 years old daughter also, who is amazingly intelligent. Imagine the kind of pain that she ran for. I was just stunned to see that in this situation, he is telling that I want to be more grateful to my spiritual master. How do I do that? I wanted to learn that. That's what she was telling. She was practically going through the question that you asked.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Actually, we have to see that in this time also, Krishna has kept my consciousness steady. For that, we have to be causeless. We have to express our appreciation or our gratitude for that causeless mercy. Right? At least somehow that seva is giving us an opportunity to serve. Because Prabhu, one thing I will tell you, whether it is kidney disease or cancer or heart disease or whatever, end of the day, we all have to die. It can be today, it can be tomorrow. We all have to die. So by us not getting some disease does not mean that Krishna is merciful to me. By us giving the disease, Krishna is not merciful to me. No, not like that. Each one of us has given what we are supposed to be getting. But in that process also, Krishna has given that consciousness to keep ourselves steady. That is his causelessness. Prahlad Maharaj, Krishna's causeless mercy upon Prahlad Maharaj was that he kept his consciousness intact in spite of all the torture that his own father was going. Right?
Hare Krishna
Yes,
Prabhu.
Prabhuji.
Dandat Pranam.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt, Prabhuji. Actually, we can
go ahead,
see His Holiness Param Pujya, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. Till yesterday, we were getting the news that he is not keeping but today I can see he is giving a Bhagavatam class.
Oh, Prabhu, that has happened many times.
No, as Prabhu said, so Maharaj is ignoring everything And he's still going on. Like I am feeling guilt. I'm feeling like shameless. Everything is intact for us, like for me.
Yeah.
But still, that laziness creeps in. So
Yeah.
Maharaj just ignore. I mean, he is also like he's having kidney issues. Everything we all know that, but still he's ignoring everything. And so just I wanted to say that. Sorry, Prabhu. Sorry.
So very good point, Prabhu. Thank you for that, because they are the living examples of how to how body is not a body, or bodily limitations are not an interruption, the interference to our devotional service. They surpassed all that thing. You saw how Param Puja Gopal Krishna Maharaj also, in the sleep, he was doing the arati, isn't it? Because of the lifelong attachment to deities, and same I was deity service. He was doing that in the sleep also, when he was resting also. Right? Yes, Sonia Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, my question to you was.
Mataji, by the way, sorry, if your initiated name is something else, and is Sonia the name I should address you with?
Yes, Prabhuji. Sonia is my name, and yeah.
So
Prabhuji,
some devotees are logged in with their official name, and those who initiated name, I know I am addressing them that way. So yes, go ahead, Mataji, please. Sorry.
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, my question was, if sadhu sang or devotional service is a result of my endeavor to obtain it, or is it due to Krishna's mercy towards me?
That's what you are discussing so far, right? There can be some Ajnata Sukruti, which I would have done. Ajnata Sukruti means unknowingly I might have done something, right? Somebody might have been, like say, I don't even know what is the purity of the potency of prasadam. Somebody would have served prasadam, I would have taken the prasadam. Then Krishna will decide that, okay, now this candidate is qualified, is selected for the interview. Let me now give him the sadhu sangha, right? So that Ajnata Sukruti is unknowingly we did it. And so the sadhu sangha or the opportunity to serve and all is coming as a result of that. So it is costless mercy of the Lord. As I told you, never, even if you are endeavoring for that matter, suppose I say, okay, so and so place, some nice katha is going on. I have to desire and I have to go and I have to do all the needful thing to drive all the way and etc. All this is my endeavor, correct? But the potency of that mercy, I will not appreciate the potency of that mercy if I spend too much time meditating on my endeavor. You get me?
Yes, Prabhuji.
That one flip side of the pros and cons are there, no? So the cons is this, that I keep thinking that, okay, my endeavor, it is happening, then I forget that it is Krishna's arrangement that he is even giving an opportunity to serve the sadhus, the sadhu sangha. However,
yes, Prabhuji.
The other side of the thing is that if everything is costless mercy, why should I endeavor? I will just simply lie down and I will say, whenever Krishna wants, I will, he arranges, then I will go. That is the negative effect of saying that none of my endeavor works, it's only costless mercy. Actually, what a devotee should, I do have to endeavor, I do have to desire, but what Krishna is giving me is lot more than what this endeavor would actually deserve to receive. You understand? Like we gave the example of say that Kubja and Sudama and all, right? Who gives Kanak Mahal as a reciprocation to a handful of chip rice?
Hello?
Did you get me? Are you there, Mataji? Am I audible?
Prabhuji, there was some. You were not audible in between, but now I can hear you. Yeah, so you were
Okay,
giving
what
me,
I was saying
yeah,
is that what I was saying is that whatever I am doing does not qualify to receive that causeless mercy. Like I
okay,
told you, you are just giving 10 rupees and somebody is giving you BMW gift. Obviously, you know that obviously will say this is not equal to what its price is. It's, I don't know, it will be like 50, 60 lakhs or 1 crore, whatever the price is. That much is the actual price, but just giving a ton 10 rupees, no, this person is giving me, who is really causelessly merciful to me, right? That's what you say.
yes,
Endeavor is there, but it does not warrant so much of causeless mercy from Krishna. Because Krishna looks at our desire or our sincerity. He is not looking at how much money you have spent, how much energy, time you have spent, etc., etc. He is looking at in what mood you spent. That is what he is looking at. Even 1 rupee you give also, that
right.
will warrant his causeless mercy, provided we do it with the utmost sincerity. Please the Lord. Right?
Right, Prabhuji. So what I've understood is what I need to really do is I have to have the right desires and intention to serve Krishna. And it is all because of his mercy that I would be able to do that.
Exactly. Even the fact that I am, as we go deeper and deeper in our devotional service, we will start realizing that even the fact that I am desiring to serve is Krishna's causeless mercy. Even the fact that I am doing whatever little endeavor that I am doing, it is Krishna's causeless mercy. That is how
Yes,
a
Prabhuji.
devotee progresses, right? You will not differentiate between the endeavor and the causeless mercy. Even my endeavor also becomes part of Krishna's causeless mercy. Because without his power to think, power to feel, how will I even desire?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Right? So that is this is why it is the devotional service is, it's a flowing thing. It will keep going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper as we go along, and you will see that hey, it's even more deeper, even more deeper. Right? When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was talking to Ramananda Rai, he kept whatever Ramananda Rai told was all true only. Nothing was false. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, this is go more deeper, go more deeper. Isn't it?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Right. That's it. Nice question, Mataji. Thank you. Sorry, Shyam Sundar Prabhu, your hands must be paining.
No, Prabhuji. It is, first of all, Hare Krishna to all devotees, Prabhujis and Mataji's. Prabhuji, during the course of that discussion, there was a very, very tricky and a very sensitive question. And the question was that, how to identify a good devotee or a bad devotee. And you explained it beautifully, Prabhuji. It all depends on the purity of an individual devotee, to identify with a good or bad. But in my opinion, Prabhuji, if I can add 1 or 2 points over here, Prabhuji.
Yes, please, go ahead, Prabhu.
But first of all, falling into this trap of deciding the good or the bad and taking the ownership of deciding good or bad is a very, very dangerous trap.
Right.
Because what happens
that's why
that,
I told you that, Prabhu, that's why I told, I don't know, it got lost in the middle of that lot of discussion. I told never ever objectify or frame somebody as so and so. Say a person is he's bad, he's good, all those things.
Exactly.
I made that point.
Exactly.
Yes,
and I just share one very practical point for you. All of our devotees are there, and we are supposed to, make a Vyas Puja, and we find so difficult to write a Vyas Puja or even to identify good points of our Guru Maharaj. Forget about any XYZ devotee in which association we are. So we are so impure that we cannot find out the good point of others. We are, if I am being told to find out bad points in you, Prabhuji, I can tell you, that you are using the specs, which is not okay. You are using the tilak, which is not absolutely fine. I can find 101 wrong points with you. But if I'm told to find out some good points in you, Prabhuji, I will, struggle to find out a good points in you. So it is our, because we live in a material life with so much of material, Krishna's material energy imposed on us, is very difficult. So I feel it is a big threat. Number one.
Yeah.
Number two, Prabhuji, if you see Srimad Bhagavatam, and if you see the pure devotees, they are all referred as a Paramhansa. So actually, Sukadeva Goswami is trying to convey this message to Parikshit Maharaj that, in Kali Yuga, it is very difficult to find a very idealistic 100% correct thing. Because that's why we are in a material life. We did something wrong. That's why we're in a material life. So, nothing can be 100% perfect. But you, being a pure devotee, a pure, conscious, in the pure consciousness, be a Paramhansa, take the right points, leave the wrong points, and move ahead.
Yeah. That is how it should be, Prabhu. We should just keep flowing like a river, as I told you. That covers that whatever beautiful point you shared. Because we should never stop and meditate on something and somebody and so on. So because everybody's time is ticking. Everybody's time is ticking. Today morning I was just thinking that, every year I just come and say, okay, now what is next? Jagannath Rath Yatra. What is next after that? Janmashtami. What is next after that? Radhashtami. Then you have Bhakta Purnima. Then you have the Bhadra Purnima. Then the Kartik month. Then how many years you keep going like that? There should be some thing to stop and think, hey, I'm doing these things. Am I improving my consciousness? Am I purifying my motive and intent? This stopping, we should only stop for this, not for anything else. Rest of it will just keep flowing.
True.
And honestly speaking, I'm so glad that you all are bringing up such beautiful, honest, sincere questions to discuss here, Prabhu Mataji, because this is one forum that is lacking widely in our congregational groups or namatas or whatever. There should be a honest place where we can share without calling names or this and that. What I'm saying, it's some kind of challenges that which are like how Pawan Gaurav Prabhu brought that point. Like that, every one of us face different situations in different places. We are also cause of somebody's disturbance, whatever. So how do we, get out of these blockades and keep flowing in our like that? That's the point. And I'm frankly speaking, this one verse I told you, see, one line brings out so much of discussion things. I was thinking maybe we'll go further in this purport. All we could do was only read 1-2 more lines. I'm not sure. Suchandra Prabhu was trying to read the next 2 lines also. I'm telling you, next week we'll have to spend more time on that because it's so much more nectar there, All we discuss only one thing: please to appear out of his own causes mercy. That's what brought out this whole 1.5 hours discussion. Can you imagine that we crossed our time limit very badly? Usually we stop at 11:50, 12 o'clock, but today it's 12:20 already, and we are still discussing these points and asking questions and more going further. Right? That is the depth of Prabhupada's transcendental purports. When you go deeper, when you start relishing each and every line, then we don't have to worry about anything else, because that is the best sadhu sangha that we are getting right. Prabhupada's sangha we are getting right. And he is supplying, Prabhupada, Krishna is supplying the intelligence for us to discuss and go deeper and deeper. So, having said that, I think helplessly we have to come to an end to today's discussion. I am also feeling, I don't feel like stopping at this point, but we all have our own other services to do. I know all of you are also having many other services to do. Next Saturday is actually Nirjala Ekadashi. So I know we don't have who is fasting. They will not have the other services to to cook and support for children and the family, Matajis and all will have to do. But I will say, we can keep next week also to meditate on this beautiful transcendental purport. If you are all okay with it, this is really getting more and more sweeter, I would say. And I'm sure, Krishna willing, I'm sure that Prabhupada will be pleased that whatever I have written, some jivas, some living entities are trying to make sense out of it. And that is actually unboxing Krishna, frankly speaking. And we are going deeper into this understanding Prabhupada's purports and relishing them. It's actually unboxing and unveiling Prabhupada to ourselves and to rest everyone also. So with that, I'll say we'll probably end. Thank you, Induradika Maraja. I'm also even looking forward. So Krishna willing, we will all catch up. But tomorrow evening, we will have Prabhupada's Paranam as usual at 8 p.m. Krishna willing. And this we will continue, this transcendental purport 1619 next Saturday. Okay? Hare Krishna. Kantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Gurudev ki jai, Vanta Koti Vaishnava ki jai, Jai Gaur Ramanande, Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Hari Bol.
Panchakal Padram Vyascha Kripas, Thank you so much, Prabhu Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you very
Hare
much.
Krishna.
Really appreciate all your association. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Nice.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.